Hey everybody, Sister Fantastic here, and today's video is going to be a tag. It's called Another Palette Tag. So I wanted to get together my palettes and share the questions and answers from this tag with you all. And this is a collab with my friend Courtney KH, and I'll link her channel down below. You've got to subscribe to her. She's fairly new to YouTube, but she's awesome, and she's got a lot of experience with makeup. She does really dramatic eye looks, and she pays real close attention to detail, and she's a bargain hunter like me. She likes to snoot out those good deals. And so anyhow, we just kind of clicked right off the bat, and so we just decided we would do this collab together. So we're working together on this, and she's gonna create a playlist and put our videos together in that playlist for your convenience. The original creator of this tag, her name is Kaily Baute, B-A-U-T-E, and that's Kaily, K-A-I-L-E-Y, Baute, B-A-U-T-E. So I'll link her channel down below as well. I have her permission to add a couple of questions at the end. So questions number 10, 11, and 12 at the bottom are ones that I added to the tag, and she gave me permission for that. And so I wanted to add a couple of questions to the tag because I had questions myself about, these things, and I wish that all the people that I had heard had answered these as well. So I wanted to add these in. Okay, well, let's get started with this. And so I'm just going to go, I've got all my palettes organized here, and I'm just going to go through these questions. And it's really hard to choose just one palette, and I just have to, I confess it, on some of these I'm gonna cheat. I'm just gonna do it and share with you a couple of palettes. So anyhow, let's just get right into this. What was your first palette? So of course, I've been doing makeup for years and years, probably over 40 years. And I can't remember the very first palette that I ever bought. It was probably something from CoverGirl or Maybelline. One of those little small ones that's got like, 6 or 8 colors in it. But, a couple years ago when I started doing YouTube, I purchased a palette, my very first palette. And it was a birthday gift. And it was the Tarte Pretty Paint Box, the limited edition for holiday season number 2016. And inside this pretty paint box, there's a number of shadows, the Amazonian clay shadows, and there's a couple of bronzers and a highlighter and a blush as well. And these two bronzers are different. One is more of a cooler tone, which you can use for contouring, and this is the warmer tone one, for warming up the face. And then underneath the flap here, there was an eyeliner and a sample of their lip paint, and a sample of their lipstick, and it seems like there was something else, and I can't remember now all what was in it. But anyway, I've changed things around, and I've got some other things stored in here, all Tarte products. But anyway, but I really enjoy this. This is, I've used it and used it and used it, and you can tell it looks just like it's brand new. And of course, I keep it in the box that it came in, to keep it looking real nice and everything. So anyway, that's Tarte. It's called the Works of Art Holiday 2016 Pretty Paint Box. And y'all know that Tarte is not only cruelty free, but also they have the best ingredients. It's formulated without parabens, mineral oil, phthalates, all this other stuff that's really bad for your skin, and it is dermatologist tested. And so here on the front of the box, it shows you what was all in that flap. It was a lip paint, an eyeliner, and a mascara. So anyway, and I love this packaging. It just reminds me of, like, the 1960s mod, the whole mod look that was in back then, the go-go boots and the big hoop earrings and all that. So anyway, let me set this to the side somewhere. I don't want to drop nothing. Okay, the second question is what palette was most recently purchased. And I have 2 of these, and I purchased these for Mother's Day, and I've got a video coming out on this. But anyway, I purchased the Dream Street palette by ColourPop. It's a collab with ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. And this is what this looks like. A lot of nice, pretty warm tone colors. And y'all know that Kathleen Lights, she has, you know, some golden undertones in her skin and her hair and her eyes and everything, you know, are very warm. And so these are the kind of colors that she picked out. And these teals are just awesome. And they blend really, really well. And I just love this little palette. I've only used it a couple times, but I'm looking forward to more looks with it. And then the other palette that I most recently purchased was from BH Cosmetics, the Weekend Festival palette. And I'm probably going to do a tutorial with this really soon, probably right after this video. But anyway, there are all the colors. Let me turn this around. And I still have the protective sheet in it. But this is like amazing. So there's some pressed pigments here, lots of pretty shimmers. And I did a swatch look on my Instagram. You can go and check that out. And I have played with this 3 or 4 times and love it. Love it for summer. It is amazing. Amazing palette, good price. BH Cosmetics has great prices. So does ColourPop. So those are both really affordable palettes. Okay, what palette do you regret missing out on? Oh my gosh. When I was purchasing my birthday gift for the holiday season 2016, at that time there was also a beautifully packaged limited edition holiday set from Too Faced. And I fell in love with that. I was really torn between the Pretty Paint Box and the Too Faced set, which had, I think, a series of 3 eyeshadow palettes. And there was some cheap products at the bottom of each one of those eyeshadow palettes. And there were some other products too. And it was all set up so cute. And it was like a fold out. And you set it up, like, and it made like a winter scene. And like, all I can remember is like someone skating around or something like that. It was just so adorable, just adorable packaging. And I just wanted the box, you know, more than the shadows, because the packaging was so cute. And so for practical reasons, you know, for the product itself, I chose to go with the Pretty Paint Box instead. But I do regret missing that purchase. I wish I could go back and get it. All right, let's move on. Let's see here. What palette are you happy to look at? Oh my gosh. This one's really hard because I have like 3. And so one of them is this one from Starry Boutique Colors, which I got off the Shop Miss A website, which is just a little $1 palette. But look at that, y'all. That is gorgeous. And that's what I'm wearing today. All these blues and greens and purples and a little bit of that gray in the outer corner and, you know, even up underneath. And these are beautiful. And if you mix them with a little bit of setting spray or some water, wow, they really pop. So that little palette right there makes me really happy to look at. And here's another one that I really love. I just love looking at it. And it's the Urban Decay Beauty with an Edge Shadow Box palette. Let me just turn this around where the mirror won't. And so anyway, the purples and the green and the blue and the peach and that black is like the blackest black in the whole wide world. It is just amazing. And there's a couple of grays and a couple of browns and a couple of lighter colored. And I love looking at this. I love looking at it on my skin. And they're mostly all shimmers. I think the only really matte one in here is that black, which you can't really use that as a transition color, but you can use some of these others. So anyhow, when you have a satin finish, I feel like a satin finish is, you know, a-okay, you know, to use as a transition color. All right, and then the other palette that I have that I really love to look at is this Morphe 35B. Oh my gosh. All those pinks and greens and blues. And that pop of orange up here in the corner. Every time I open this up, I just drool. I love this palette. And it's fun, and it's taken me out of my box. You know, I'm so set in my ways. I'm such a neutrals girl, you know. And so anyhow, that's encouraging me to, you know, play with color. All right. What palette have you changed your mind about? Okay. Now this palette here is the CoverGirl True Naked Roses palette, which I think it's a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. But it's mostly like pinks and plums. And when I first got this, I was like, ho-hum, you know. It's like they were just so muted, and I don't know. I just really wasn't impressed. I mean, I thought that I might like it, and that's why I got it. But then when I put it on my eyes, it was like, wow. Wow, 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 wow. And so anyhow, I really like this. You know, it goes on smooth like silk. It blends really well. You know, there's a couple of shimmers here. This one right here and this one right here. And then these darker ones just really just add some drama to the look. And I'm just really super happy with this little palette. I mean, it didn't cost me much. I don't know, $5, $6, $7, something like that. And I'm just blown away by it. So I changed my mind. I went from not liking it to liking it. All right, let's see what else. What palette has surprised you? There's a couple here, and I'm sorry I'm cheating, y'all. I just have to. But anyway, this little Winky Lux kitten palette that I got with BoxyCharm. When I first got this, I was like, what am I going to do with this? I have never mixed together any colors like that before. And I mean, I could see what I could do with the browns and that, you know, that off-white there. But some of these other colors, I was just like, what am I going to do with this? But let me tell you something. This color right here, which seems to be like the weirdest color in the whole entire palette, creates so much versatility. And this duochrome right here does too. And these are like two maroons, and one is more of like a brownish kind of, a lighter brownish kind of a maroon. But anyway, they mix and blend well, really well together. They play really well together. And I have had so much fun creating so many different kinds of different looks with this. And it has really just, you know, helped me to find inspiration. So, if you haven't got that, I would encourage you to get that. And here's another one that surprised me. And it's kind of ironic because the name of the palette is Element of Surprise from ColourPop. So inside here you'll see, you know, some pretty neutral looking colors. And there's that pop of hot pink there, and there's a couple of, there's a copper and a gold and like a purplish silver color right here. But the first color that I went into when I played with this palette was this like mustardy yellow, which I thought was going to be really light. But bam, you're talking about pigment. And I put that on my eyes, and I had to blend for a while before I could go on with anything else. But let me just swatch that for you so you can see what it looks like. But look at that. That, you know, that surprised me. It really did. And this beautiful metallic right here, up here in the corner, that one right there, there's that. Look how shiny that is. Just like foil. I mean, just like glass. So this is an amazing little palette. from Colourpop. And I think I paid like 16 bucks for this. Wasn't much at all. So that surprised me. Alright, what palette inspires you the most? Inspires you the most. So I do get inspired from the Colourpop palettes. I have several. But this Jaclyn Hill palette, the collab that she did with Morphe. Let me open this up so you can see. I still have the original paper here. I gotta figure out something to do with it. But anyway, this is it. And I have the original packaging. So, but anyway, lots of neutrals. Lots of pretty red, tomatoey looks. There's lots of rose golds and like peaches right up in here. You know, there's that pop of mustardy yellow, which is awesome. You know, and then all these greens down here on this bottom row, starting with this like seafoam green into emerald green into like a pine green, and these purples, the blues. I mean, and this is like a black down here in the corner, and a really dark brown. I mean, you can just do a whole lot. And you know, she's got a couple of light colored shimmers up here at the top. So, amazing palette. A lot of people have complained about not having a all over matte white or like a bone, but that didn't bother me because I can use setting powder to set my eyelids, you know, and so that doesn't bother me. In fact, I'd rather have the shimmers, you know, those. But anyway, that palette inspires me. So, okay, what palette is on your wish list? Actually, I have two that I've been, you know, looking to buy at some point. And one of them is the Tartelette in Bloom palette, which is like a cult favorite, and I really want to pick that up. And then another one is the Juvia's Place, the Masquerade palette. And I want to get the one with the smaller sized pans, because they're, you know, that's a lot of eyeshadow. But anyway, the colors in that palette, you know, are like half warms and brights and half, you know, neutrals, and I just feel like they'll really mix and match, and it's something that I would definitely use and wear. And they say the pigment in those palettes from Juvia's Place is just amazing, and from what I can see from videos, the way that they lay down is that they are very pigmented, and the payoff is really, really good. And so that is a really nice line, very affordable line that I want to delve into as soon as I can. All right, number 9. What is your no-fail palette? And again, I have two. And I'm so sorry, y'all, but it's so hard to decide. But anyway, this is one of my no-fail palettes, the Urban Decay Naked Heat. And I picked this up last fall, and when it first came out, and I just love all these colors. Let me turn this upside down and get this brush out of the way. I love all these warm colors. They're, you know, really pretty warm tone, you know, oranges and reds, and there's a rose gold there, and then you get into these plums down here, and then of course you've got, you know, the bone, and then the white, and then some warm and cool tone browns. And I just, every time I pick this palette up and use it, it works for me no matter what combination I put together. You know, it just, the eye look turns out gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and I'm just always pleased. I've never had, you know, where you do your makeup and you're like, oh my god, I gotta wash this off and do it all over again. I've never had that happen with that palette. I mean, every time, yeah, I can count on any kind of creativity that I've got going on inside of my mind for it to come together. And then the other palette that has really been a no-fail palette for me is this one by Beauty Glazed. It's called the Rose Gold palette. And this is a dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. But all the... And I just love all these colors together. These pretty berries and pinks, and there's a couple of oranges and that bright yellow. And then, of course, you've got some neutrals. You know, this taupey brown. This black is really, really dark. I love it. And then this goldstone up here in the corner, which is like a duochrome. Amazing. That is amazing. It goes really good with the yellow and the black. And some of the other colors in the palette as well. So, but anyway, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 satins and shimmers. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mattes. 10 mattes. Which, I mean, I love the mattes especially well in this palette. And the payoff on the metallic shimmers is pretty good. There is a little bit of fallout. If you wet your brush, it really pops. And so, but anyway, these are textured eyeshadows, and it's cruelty free, and it's got a 24-month shelf life. You know, I got this off of Amazon. So anyway, I'm just really happy with that palette, and every look I've ever tried with it has worked out really, really good for me. And so that's, I want to include that, you know, as a no-fail palette. All right, so the questions that I wanted to add at the end of this tag are, what is your favorite brand for palettes? And again, this is, you know, it's tough. It's tough because you have so many different ones, you know, and it's hard for me to pick just one. But I love, y'all know me, if you follow me on my channel, I love BH Cosmetics. I love BH Cosmetics. They're affordable. I love their shadows. I love the color. I love the pigment. I love the blendability. I love them. And they're always coming out with new stuff. I like Morphe really well. I love ColourPop. You know, ColourPop's pressed shadows are amazing. I've got 3 or 4 palettes from them. Here's one. It's called You Had Me at Hello. This is a really nice little palette. So if you like plums and, you know, neutrals, I mean, this is a really, really nice little palette. Comes with a mirror. You know, not all the little ColourPop shadows come with mirrors, but that one does. And I like Urban Decay. You know, they have good shadows as well, but they're expensive. They're on the high end. And I love Tarte. But BH Cosmetics has got to be my all-time favorite. If you look in my collection, I probably have more eyeshadow from them than I do anybody. And that's just, you know, when you're on a budget, you know, and you're trying to grow your collection, you know, you hook up with a couple of subscription boxes, and then you buy the things that you can really afford. And so between BH Cosmetics and ColourPop, I've just really, you know, added quite a bit to my collection this last year. All right, and question number 11 is, what is your favorite dupe? What is your favorite dupe? And so I have, again, this Beauty Glazed Rose Gold palette, which is, you know, a dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold. And I also have the Makeup Revolution Light and Shade palette, which is a dupe for Kat Von D's Shade and Light. And they've changed the name. Makeup Revolution has changed the name on the palette now. It's no longer called Light and Shade. It's called something else. But anyway, it's just basic neutrals. I mean, just straight across the board, basic neutrals. And but it's definitely a really good dupe. A really good dupe. And of course the packaging, you know, is somewhat similar, the way that they laid the shadows out. But of course Kat Von D has her artwork, you know, and everything. Okay, and then number 12. What is your all-time favorite palette? You know, and that's a hard question. I really had to think about it. But this is it right here. The BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Ultimate Artistry Shadow Palette. And there's 42 shades in here. There's ultra pigmented mattes. There's satins. There's shimmers. And it's an amazing palette. There's metallics. There's some duochromes. I mean, there's like everything you ever wanted. And look at all those colors. So this is so much fun to play with. So much fun to play with. So this has got to be probably my all-time favorite palette so far. We'll see how things go in the future. But anyway, as of right now, July the 1st, 2018, this is my all-time favorite palette. And you can get this at the BH Cosmetics website. I want to say it's less than $30. Anyway, it's like 20-something dollars. Great. And sometimes they go on sale, you know, and you can get it cheaper than that. So, awesome. I enjoyed sharing all my palettes with you guys today, all my favorites. And, you know, this is an evolving kind of a thing. You know, it seems like what might be your favorites or what you might have an opinion about today, you know, in a month from now, it could change because your collection's always changing and your tastes are always changing, and then the seasons change as well. And so, you know, you think and you approach makeup from a different angle or a different point of view, depending on where your mindset is at the time. And so it's kind of fun to see what everybody thinks about all of what they have in their collection. So anyway, I'll list the questions down below, put the links to Courtney's channel and Kaylee's channel down below where you all can get to their videos. And please go to their YouTube channel and watch their videos and subscribe to their channels. I really want to support them. I want to encourage you guys to support them as well. And I'll list my palettes that I recommended down below as well. And so anyhow, that is pretty much it for today. I just want to thank you all for watching. Click like if you liked the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. And leave me a comment down below. I'll be sure to chat back with you. And God bless you today is my prayer. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.